Imagine a secure financial institute with state of the art firewalls and highly trained security guards that look like me, terrifying dudes. Just kidding. An attacker gains access to the internal network within minutes. And the entry point is not some sophisticated phishing campaign, it's a forgotten about end of life switch. This is actually a router, but I just wanted to show off. Now, this entry point being this switch is very common. This happened in 2017 with a credit bureau. This Equifax data breach is what it was called. It also happened last year with some Cisco firewalls that had a vulnerability. This legacy hardware contains unpatched firmware vulnerabilities that the manufacturer no longer supports. Hardware, mobile devices, and operating systems form the foundation of any IT infrastructure. Securing these components requires understanding the unique vulnerabilities that live in each inherent layer. Hardware vulnerabilities often stem from the physical life cycle of devices. End of life or EOL status occurs from the manufacturer ceasing all support, including security patches for a hardware model. Legacy systems are outdated technologies that remain in use. We've talked about this earlier. We're bringing it up again. These systems often lack modern security controls, making them prime targets for exploitation. Firmware vulnerabilities exist in the low-level software programmed directly onto this hardware. Now, attackers exploit outdated firmware to gain low-level access. And when we say low-level access, think if our high-level access is some part of the application, our low-level is where we get that root access, right? We can do whatever we want. We have the most privileges on this software. Now, another dangerous thing is physical access to these products. Physical access vulnerabilities pose a significant risk. If an unauthorized individual gains physical access to the device, security controls can be bypassed entirely. Side channel attacks represent another hardware threat. These attacks analyze physical outputs such as electromagnetic radiation, power consumption, or processor timing to extract cryptographic keys, right? This is some intense stuff. Don't worry, you won't have to do this on the Security Plus. You just gotta know it exists. On to mobile devices. Mobile devices introduce a unique security challenge due to the portability and diverse software ecosystems that live on all these devices. Rooting an Android device or jailbreak an iOS device removes the manufacturer's imposed security restrictions. While this grants administrative control to users, it also allows malicious applications to access sensitive file systems. Sideloading is the practice of installing applications from sources outside of the official app stores. I've never done this. Sideloading applications bypass the security vetting process of official marketplaces, which often introduces malware. Outdated mobile operating systems represent a widespread vulnerability. Many users delay updates, leaving known vulnerabilities unpatched for months or even years. Maybe they're out of storage and it won't let them, and they're like, oh well, I already have everything I need on here. Carrier-specific configurations and pre-installed bloatware also introduces vulnerabilities. These custom software packages often contain security flaws that base operating system vendors cannot patch directly. Operating systems manage system resources and host applications, making them high-value targets. Unpatched operating systems contain publicly documented vulnerabilities that attackers can easily exploit by using automated tools. Default configurations present other common vulnerabilities. Operating systems often ship with unnecessary services enabled, open ports, default administrative credentials. Now, buffer overflow occurs when an application writes more data to the memory block than the block is allocated to hold. Okay, let me pause right here. So like your memory is physical. I know that sounds crazy. It sounds like so arbitrary. What's on these devices it's physical. There's blocks. Now, if I overflow and let's say we have this much storage allocated and some code is written that accesses this stuff over here, that's what we call a buffer overflow. So a buffer overflow writes more data to the memory block than the block is allocated to hold. This excess data can overwrite adjacent memory, allowing an attacker to execute arbitrary code with system-level privileges. Privilege escalation vulnerabilities allow users with low-level permissions to gain administrative or root access. Attackers exploit these flaws to bypass access controls, install malware, and access restricted data. Now, what you are going to do as a security professional is you're going to implement regular patch management. You're going to disable unused services, and you're going to enforce the privilege of least principle. Remember, bill from HR doesn't need sales leads.